It's December the 22nd, 2015. I'm Dana Durnford, also known as the NuclearProctologist.org, and you can find my videos in Fukushima presentations at livestream.com. We try to do 7 days a week, not necessarily always on time, but we do work very hard to keep these streams going. And you can check livestream.com, type in Dana Durnford, and you will see that picture show up. And you can follow me right there, and you can watch the streams later. So you can always catch yesterday's stream the day after, and that way you don't be sitting around or anything like that. And to the people that are participating, you know, my highest respect, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying that the stream is there, and we are motivated to have a conversation about Fukushima. And when you think about Fukushima, and we're going to come over for a second and say hi. We're going to say hi to Corey. Hi, Corey. We got to get rid of the... We got rid of the Adobe so we don't have another stream on the other computer. And so we are going to talk about bananas. And everything is out of whack because that's just the way that works sometimes. Let me fix that right quick for us. Probably got 6 things going on at one time, do I? And we'll worry about that in a minute because I'm lost here. Oh, yeah, I got me. Hang on a second. Like you say, it takes you a few minutes sometimes to get organized and settled away and set up and blah, 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 blah. And so... Hey, Corey. Yeah, we're live, Corey. There's a 30-second delay or something like that. And so we are just going to start a stream and talk about bananas and how bananas it is to say that radiation from a chain reaction is like a banana, and how irresponsible that is to even claim that that is so. And that's kind of a weird one. Let me pick something else for after so we don't get stuck on transitions. Yes, we forgot one of our kids. It's okay though, I forgot 4 million of yours. And if you don't like it, this is what happens to you. So we live in a world now that is... that is, and let me change my view here. That is stark contrast to what's really going on around us. Some of this is pretty hard to look at. We're going to look at tonight. We're under attack from stuff like just radio waves and radio singles. And then when you ingest radiation, these radio waves enhance the radiation that's inside of you, enhances these isotopes, makes it much more dangerous for the human experience. And this is a uranium chandelier. This was an art project someone put together with uranium. Radon, I guess, or... Don't quote me 100%. Yeah, I know everybody's in the... Probably got a better map of that one coming up. Palestine has lost about 90% of its land to Israel since Israel showed up in 61 years. You can see people can make weapons out of just about anything. So there's natural clouds and there's man-made clouds. Sometimes they look like that. Lots of times now they're looking like the one on the right. And those clouds can cover North America. Think about that. These are man-made clouds. And there was a study done about that. Well, I mean, to take it into context... Hang on a second. To take it into context... We do that for Chernobyl. That's Chernobyl. They sprayed reagents over Chernobyl to aggregate with the radiation, knock it back down in that area. But the rain liberates it again when it rains later on. But it stopped the fallout from being extraordinary. We done this over Vietnam. We sprayed chemical weapons over Vietnam for 9 years, chemtrail the sky. For 9 years. Yeah, for 9 years. But we don't believe in chemtrails. What a weird planet we live on. And so global warming alarmist, so per se, I'm not saying it's wrong to think about it. You got to put it into context, though, if you're going to talk about it, okay? Don't forget the important parts like that or like that or like that. So one ship equals 50 million cars. So you've seen a Shell commercial on YouTube where their cutbacks have every year is equal to 250,000 cars. Well, think about one of these container ships is 50 million cars. That's more cars than Canada, United States, or Australia and New Zealand combined. Just one of these ships, there's 90,000 on the ocean. That's 42 trillion people every day driving, 24 hours a day. Yeah, but chemtrails are not real, Dana. I know. I hear you. I hear you. Because we don't want to have to tell you twice. Because we don't want to have to tell you twice. A priest, a pedophile, and a rapist walk into a bar. He orders a drink. Here's what they were doing for the Olympics in UK. Police were going around looking like that. And if you don't, how about that? Who's this dog here? Come on, baby, give me one more chance. Huh? Need some of that? I can't say it out loud, they'll arrest me. But those people can say whatever they want, teach their children whatever evil and twisted and demented little tiny make-up world they want. Yeah, this is about Fukushima. Mitchell O'Connell, world's best artist. Okay. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me. I'm looking for something special. Hang on. I'll find it. I'm digging my grave now, but soon it will be your turn. War, get used to it. So we're seeing a internet raged war playing out. In every sense of the word, the media is telling you something different, yeah? DARPA complex combines human brains and 120 million megapixel cameras to create the ultimate military threat detection system. So Homeland Security is groping millions and millions, hundreds of millions every year. Hundreds of millions of people a year. Hundreds of millions of people a year. Never stopped a terrorist, never caught a terrorist. But they killed people doing that, and they criminalized people for doing that, and women were raped for doing that, children were molested by doing that. But they never stopped a terrorist, caught a terrorist. But they turned children and everybody else against them across the country. Everybody hates their guts. Camp FEMA. Camp FEMA. Don't forget to vote, not that it matters. Here, look at the funny dog. Hey, look at the funny dog. Think about the funny dog. Don't think about anything else. Hang on, I'm making a point here. Because I got bills to pay and I love it anyway. He told me it was cool. Told me it's trendy. Millions dead, millions missing, millions in refugee camps to get 10,000 Taliban in Afghanistan. You've done the same thing in Iraq. Millions dead, millions missing, millions in refugee camps, millions of orphans, 5 million in Afghanistan to get 10,000 gangbangers. And Fukushima doesn't exist because the Taliban is Fukushima when it does show up. Anybody, you can't talk about Fukushima because you're automatically considered an alarmist. You're automatically considered a fearmonger. You're automatically considered salacious. Oh, you're not a nuclear scientist. What are you talking about that stuff for? Well, you're not an expert on anything you've ever talked about in your life, so why are you on the internet? But what I do is bring thousands and thousands and thousands of headlines normally. I might just run through some headlines. If you want to hear headlines, I'll freaking read you headlines all night long. That's what blows your skirt up. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hang on. Australia forecast map shows possible radioactivity east of Los Angeles. Hang on, let's roll, scroll, roll. These are all forecasts from institutions of the fallout in the first couple of weeks of just a single isotope from 4 melter reactors. It's okay, Zoe. So here's what do we got here? We got the Reince Institute for Environmental Research. Right, cesium. Yeah, forget about the plutonium and uranium because that's what the reactors ran on. Cesium. What about the americium? What about the curium? There's more curium than there is cesium. More curium. And curium, you need lead 20 times thicker than you need it for plutonium. And curium's the biggest production coming out of there. That's why the Pacific Ocean has died. Well, by the way, the Pacific Ocean is dead. Anybody's not familiar with that one? Where have you been for the last 4.5 years? Norwegian Institute for Air Research. None of that matters. Oh no, you can show people from all the institutions on the planet modeling this stuff out, showing the disposition. So, absorbed radiation doses 132 was 10 times higher than 131. And that ionizing radiates your thyroid glands 9 times more effectively. But there's 30 times more 133. There was 31 times more 129. This is what a new electron added to it, mini. This is man-made. This is not nature. This is not put iodine in, got iodine out. This put uranium in and got iodine out. Put plutonium in and uranium got iodine out. This is a terrorist weapon. This is a dirty bomb we're talking about. Or, because the nuclear industry insists that's like a banana. Worldwide. Oh, it's like a banana. It's like a banana. It's always like a banana, worldwide, right? Like a banana. Like another banana, right? I like bananas too, but hang on a second. Should I be scared to go into the supermarket? Right? Should I be scared to... Should I be scared to... potato chips or walking in the sunshine or getting on an airplane? How did you think for a second that was an issue? How did that become an issue in your world? Because the nuclear apologists, the banana peddlers, slurred the good name of the banana and equated it with man-made radioactive fallout like a dirty bomb. And so you can't have a conversation with everybody because they're stupid as trees now. Just got to keep that banana fable alive for another couple of years and it won't matter anymore anyway. Let's keep going. Murdering with drones. Just because you need a paycheck. Can't get a job shoveling shit. You don't have your own kind of world. You don't, it's... Where am I here? Hang on. Scroll down a little ways. Let me get rid of Dana. The kids are out there, they're pharmaceutical walking machines. Everywhere they pee and poo and pharmaceuticals. That's the Pentagon, September 11th, 2001. See any plane wreck there anywhere? That's before the building collapsed. You see those firemen running around picking up bodies? You see plane wheels or landing gear or skid marks? How can you have the fire and all that stuff being sprayed there with no damage? These are questions you got to ask yourself sometime. So that's where you see that little square. That's where the plane went in. But there's a fence there. Where's the plane? Where's the skid marks? Right? How you know? Like, think about it. That building didn't fall down for 30 minutes. Right? That's before it fell down, crumbled. This one here is crumble, I guess. But anyway, you're there in the universe, in the greater scope of things. Man on the moon is, hang on. That somebody's crazy, eh? Remember that one? You gotta go around and spray everybody. What we got here for everybody? I don't know. Hang on. One of those nights where I'm just meandering along. Just meandering along. That's okay, isn't it? Am I allowed to do that anymore? Am I allowed to meander along? Meander along. Hang on. For Chernobyl. Here, listen to this. Let me turn it up, make sure you can hear it first, though. Chernobyl. It's going to be pretty loud. Just adjust your volume accordingly. I'm going to listen to it. Why should you get all the fun? Am I going to listen to? Hi, Alex. Hi, Corey. Let's play this clip here.
When the robots broke down because of the extreme radioactivity, men were sent in to clean up the site. They were not volunteers. They were picked up off the streets and press-ganged onto the roof.
You were picked up off the street? But think about it, that was in Chernobyl. Now, there's around 11,000 Rankins on that roof. And if I remember correctly, 500 will kill you in short order. Within 2 weeks exposure to that, you'll be dead. Okay. In UK, they kidnapped people from the back row of theaters, and they brought them into a nuclear power plant because the 5,000 power plant employees were not going to go
to push the burning fuel through into the back of the reactor.
But the heat had melted the cartridges, so they'd become stuck inside the core. They were forced to use scaffolding poles they'd found nearby to try and push the cartridges out. Radiation was so intense they could only work a few hours. They were running out of firefighters.
The police from the factory had turned up looking for volunteers, and they'd brought a bus, and they decided the best way to get the volunteers was to go to the cinema and volunteer the back 2 rows at the show to go into the factory to, as it turned out, to help push the fuel rods out of the reactor.
Yeah, if that was my kid, I'd scalp you. Just saying. Steal my kid from a theater. Go do that when you got 5,000 nuclear power plant workers, and then you got Oxford down there. You could have took all the mouthpieces, Wade Allison down there. You could have took him in there. He would have showed everybody, right? He would. I'd do that for you if I get out of the way. No, of course he would. We live in a very strange world where it's like a banana, but they kidnap people off the streets for Chernobyl. They kidnap people off the streets for UK Sellafield, there's 4 million liters or gallons a day hemorrhaging into the ocean, and they're kidnapping people for Japan's melter reactors. Yeah? Are you familiar with Japan? Dana, anytime you're ready, Dana. Oh, hang on. Yank. Japan. Let's bring that over there. Switch it. Yep. Japan had a 9.0 earthquake. It traveled to the country at 9,000 miles per hour. It didn't stop there. It kept going through all the surrounding countries. But it shook the country for 6 minutes. It was 1,000 times worse than Haiti. And Haiti's still devastated. Then it had an incredible tsunami. And the world experienced that. And that ran through the country, hit the country at 600 miles per hour. And then it ripped out 2,000 square miles of the country and tore it out to sea. And it killed 20,000 people that we know about. And it wrecked the infrastructure right throughout that entire country. The reactors in Fukushima in particular, they detonated. They melted down. And this is Unit 1. Unit 2, 100% meltdown, folks. And gone, and Elvis has left the building. And number 4. And number 4, they come out and they showed you that. And then they said it looked like that on the inside. That'll look like that on the inside. But it actually looks like that. So we are talking gangsters. Sorry, gangsters. Because it looks like that. We know it looked like that. They tore everything off and the fuel pool was up there. See, in the roof. Right, that's why they had that thing there. And how could you put water in that? And why would you if it looked like that? Why would you need that when it looked like that? Right? Because it don't look like that. It don't look like that. It looks like that. And they built it up alongside of it. They don't have that in the that, right? And this is what it looks like. They tore it all off. Right? They sprayed water on number 3. Now they admit all of these reactors, that's number 3, number 2, are all gone. Number 1. So, are you gullible? Find out for only $1. Or come here and get it for Now think about the country, how tsunami for hundreds of miles of the country. That's why they're starting the power plants on the west side of Japan, not the east side, because it looks like that. So we lost all the reactors on the east side. And we massive fallout throughout the country, and there's 9 million bags like that, 1-ton bags in the Fukushima prefecture. And that the ocean currents and the jet streams are actually real. And the Pacific Ocean, this model is based upon 6 years. It's only based upon a couple of days releases from one of the reactors. I think that model is based upon number 2 only. And number 2. Here's number 1. Here's number 3. That's not in none of those models. And number 4 is not in the model. And if it is, it looked like that, see? They don't want to tell you the truth. But these are the official pictures. Everything is the official picture. That's TEPCO employees. I'm not kidding you. That's a TEPCO employee. That's the reality. You better... They are cartoons, right? We know if the reactor... It starts losing an inch a minute. And after about 11 hours, it's well below the top of it. After about 18 hours, it's empty. But the whole country looked like that. And so within 90 minutes, these melted down, even if there wasn't the damage. But we know the damage was there. I just showed it to you. What do you want? I'll show it to you again. There it is. We know they blew up. We know they melted down. We know you're not gullible. That's why you're here, right? And you know that just reactor 3 is 2 million times worse than every other reactor on the planet combined. Every other reactor on the planet combined. Think about that. No, Dana, yeah. And that all the reactors had plutonium in it. Okay, let's come back. Now, who knows with me? That's not the one I wanted to be on. Let's come in and jump on that one. And so, remember this one? Now, that's the prime minister of a country. And he didn't shoot anybody. How come? Because they wanted to use that as a way to take away all of his rights, the country's people in the country's rights. So they brought in a patsy. He got no bullets. And now they say you got to confiscate all the guns throughout the country. because the patsy was there on camera. There he is. He tried to kill the guy. Look, I'll give him a kick up the friggin' guts. Patsy, take that from me, Patsy. And so then he used, that's a staged event. Fifth Amendment need not apply. Trust me, I'm a banker. And hang out. We're kind of all over the place tonight. I'm having a bad day. And trying to get things done. And so late stream tonight, probably late stream tomorrow night. That's okay. Tomorrow we'll cover Unit 4. Kate sent me a really good video. And we're going to cover that. And we just had to get things straight. Right now, that's what happened to me. Look, they made me get rid of 300 of my presentations that were about Fukushima. Not this mix we got here tonight. This is just me meandering along. Yeah, it's okay. I know, we done that. Hang on, bear with me. Stay together, Dana. Here we go. We got so much that I'm back on track almost. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, there we go. Where I left off, I'm just picking through stuff before I take it off the computer. There's the picture we were thinking about. What do I got for you? Space. We should never be allowed to go into space. We should work extremely hard so humans can never go into space. We are the worst thing that could happen into space. Hi, Mickey. Yeah, no, I never had any warning for anybody, Mickey. It's been a long day, and so you know me, I'm going to do a stream. I'll post it up at YouTube after. Yeah, there you go. Great picture. Great pictures. That's your world today. Internet of Things regulation. And the real axis of evil. What was this one here? And the number one way to avoid being killed by terrorist attacks is if you hear about the government running any drills near where you are, get the fuck out of town. Right. Extremist, a label used to discredit and marginalize anyone whose opinion is a threat to the state because they've figured out just how corrupt it is. It's not like a banana, see? It's not like walking in sunshine. We're talking about nuclear tonight. I know it might not seem that way. While sustaining a constant sense of fear or alarm, terrorists are going to get you. They're going to get a dirty bomb. The terrorists will get it if you don't give us $1 billion for every nuclear waste site on the planet. And I'm going to screw this up, you know? You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying to you? Look, here's what the FBI said would happen if Russia attacked. But here's what they've done in 10 years. In a 10-year period. And each one of those lines are 3 or more nuclear clouds. How many clouds do you got to breed in before it catches up with you 10, 20, 30 years down the road or right away? Just a single atom. You put 2 million atoms on the head of a needle. But that's what they've done to you in 10 years. But here's what they said Russia would do to you if you didn't let them do that for 10 years. But at the same time, you put nuclear fuel through the country. These are in tons. They all hemorrhage. They're all vented in your community. All nuclear power plants are hemorrhaging and leaking into your community. And so, current location of spent fuel. So that's leaching into your water, into your lakes and estuaries and rivers and streams, and it's venting out of there. And so they're completely out of control. The whole system is completely useless. It's completely useless. It's out of control. It's way out of control. Hang on. Nikola Tesla could have told you that one, right? I know. Don't mind me tonight. Just burning off some energy that I got to burn off. Something to do, I suppose. I'm making a point. But it's one of those points where, there's 22 veterans committing suicide every day. When they were in Iraq, they raped 290,000 of their own soldiers were raped, that we know about 29,000 a year for 10 years. To get 10,000 Taliban, they raped 290,000 of their own. They have 80,000 dead from suicide in that same 10 years. There's no plane in the Pentagon. No plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Dissent is terrorism. Dissent is terrorism. So it's like a banana, it's okay. And then their whole power structure is predicated upon you supporting them. But if a bunch of you start stepping it off that plank, where's he going to end up to? In deep shit, yeah? Probably not going to live if he falls from an edge of a cliff, yeah? Because that's the world that they live in. That's the world they drew from you. They reinforced into you over and over and over. And that everybody's a terrorist. Everybody's a terrorist. Except for them, right? And a million fanatics can have their mind possessed by a single idea. And so the media comes out and tells you a story. They come out and they tell you a story, and the story is meant to prop up an ideology itself. And so everybody gets the same picture in the same paragraph at the same time. Worldwide. That's how it works. That's how the internet works. See? And they aggregate it by little robots on their sites that they all got for each other. And so when they want to come out with a smear campaign, or they want to come out with an ideology, or they want to come out and mess up a story, they all come out with the same picture, and you can't conversation with anybody. Right? You can't have a conversation with everybody. And anybody says anything different is a terrorist, or is, it doesn't look right, But history has shown that the people who keep at it, keep pushing, they had to cut down all the trees to print all the bailout money needed to create green jobs to save all the trees. Does that make sense? Because it should. Keep telling yourself you're free. Keep doing that. And where's it going to get you? Where is it going to get you? So the TSA got badges and uniforms from administration, not legislation. They're not entitled to law enforcement benefits or health care or insurance because they're not, law enforcement. That's what the TSA has to call the police to arrest you. They can ask you to stay there, and if you don't stay there, they call the police. They can't arrest you. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes they kill a woman, we know. My cigarette doesn't have 9,000 chemicals. So don't have does your cigarette have 7,000 chemicals? Women in binders. Who's that guy there? I can't remember. That's what's his face. Politician from America. I can't remember. Whatever you like, Ken. And Richard Nixon as a villain. How you like that bite there, eh? Isn't that something? My cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. Let me have a puff in peace. Think about this stuff, turmeric has over 1,600 peer-reviewed studies on it. 1,600 peer-reviewed studies on it. 1,600 peer-reviewed studies on it. I said 1,600. Can I show you some more studies? Smoke injection height from fires. Hang on, we'll come back to turmeric in a second because that's a really important one. Smoke injection This could get confusing, but I'm going to have to reset it after. But here, hang on. Just so you can read it later on in case you're watching this and you're bored and you're like, okay, I want to read that shit, Dana, stop. So smoke injection height. So what a fire does is it sends smoke up in the air. And so that's what happens at Fukushima forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Because a melted reactor, that's what it does. Okay. So it sends it up in the air. Transboundary pollution influences an aerosol concentration in the United States. And so it shows how particles come across the Trans-Pacific corridor. That's like dust particles coming across, right? And that's why our water looks like that here in Canada. That's your drinking water standards for North America. That's because pollution came over from the reactors, the isotopes, 1,501 atom per cubic meter of air in California when you're walking along. Because California has been shown to take the brunt of the pollution that's trans-Pacific. Right, do you get that part? Right, because this stuff gets airborne really fast, right? But our drinking water now is contaminated permanently. Think about 7,000 becquerels of tritium. That's man-made. That's what extra isotope in it, water, that went over fissionable products. And then fell down on Canada and now is counted as a standard in our drinking water when 7,000 becquerels is a dirty bomb. A liter is a dirty bomb. But they're not going to come out and tell you that. What they tell you that now is that that's okay. That's how big the law is. Look at the natural stuff. Uranium you measure in milligrams, not becquerels, when it's natural. But when you put it through a chain reaction, now it's becquerels. When you refine it, like you've got to go through 400 tons of coal to get a gram. You got to wreck a mountain to get a few rods. That's why there's 5,000 abandoned uranium mines in Navajo in America. But yeah, no. But smoke is tens of thousands of times bigger than the atoms I'm talking about from Fukushima. But they made it so difficult for people to wrap their mind around it. Yeah, because but do you get what I'm saying to you? I screwed that up. Hang on. Okay, so let's come over to the other one, back to the turmeric. Because we're not going to get a full stream out tonight, but we've got to stream it. It's important that I do a stream. Trust me. So turmeric, you can buy it as a spice. And turmeric is extreme. It got 1,600 studies on it. You can put it on cuts. It's good for anti-inflammatory, for blood purifier, for digestive, for skin tonic, for antiseptic, antibiotics, anti-carcinogenic agents, fat metabolizing. 1,600 studies. Put it in a half a glass of water, a spoonful of it, stir it up, and buck it back down into you. Do you and your animals and your friends and your family and everybody else, and use it as much as you can get away with it. But try to take it as often as possible. Because what they're going to do to you is lie to you and tell you there's nothing to worry about when there's everything to worry about. When the world has to stand up and make a stand. At some point, you're going to come to the conclusion the same as me. I'm not going to be a Homo sapien. Or whatever. Look, this is the terrorists. This is when they shot Osama bin Laden. And they came out with this picture and claimed it was the picture of them watching the cam of the special forces killing Osama bin Laden, when that's not what happened. But this is what the media does to you. That's what the media does to you. It turns you into a Homo sapien. Homo sapien. It's a hard word to say. And Iraq, 2 million dead, 4 million fled. genocide, theft, torture, cholera, starvation, emaciation. You took up, millions dead, millions missing, million in refugee camps, raped 290,000 of their own, 80,000 dead from suicide. You get 10,000 Taliban. Then you done it in Libya. Now you're in Syria. Because the media lied to you. The media deceived you. The media tricked you. The media ran you. Iran is surrounded by 49 bases. How are they going to attack anybody with 49 American military bases around it, ready to go boom, boom on them anytime they want? And every kind of agency out there turning everything and everybody into boogeyman, just got to give them a uniform. Even kids are victimized. Kids are the target. Think about it. Right? And then the race and religion and ideology and then taking away people lives their lives and trying to use that against them because they choose to live their lives the way they want to live it because that's who they are and that's who they're comfortable with, being who they are. And if you're not Americanized or whatever the case may be, whatever way you want to look at it, then you're not a real person. That if you choose to live your life and that it doesn't meet the norm that TV printed out for you, you're somehow bad. You're somehow wrong or stupid or you're somehow different. But you have the same hopes and the same dreams as me. I have the same hopes and same dreams as you. I feel the same pain as you. My blood runs the same way. It pours out with the same cut that you got if I got that cut. And that you want to say you have the same hopes and dreams for your loved ones and your friends and your families as I would have for mine. I would hope. And that they try to take that away from you and say you got to be like this or you got to be like that. And that if you're not like that, there's something wrong with you. When how can that be so? You are who you are because you chose to be that person. If that's who you are. I'm who I am because I chose to be that person. I chose not to be a lollipop for nonsense, to be a sucker. Not that there's anything wrong with suckers, but to be a sucker. If you choose to be a sucker, that's okay. It's up to you. If you watch mainstream media is what I'm talking about, and you digest that, and that gives you some kind of comfort. It's because you've been indoctrinated through every day of your life. It's only when you stop watching it for a year or 2 years and find other pursuits that you can become who you want to become. You can be who you want to be. You can understand the things you want to understand. But as long as you're watching TV, it's very difficult for you to absorb anything because you have this ideology imprinted on you all the time and reinforced with commercials and music and ads and just celebrities. Right? So, like all celebrities have these connotations. I don't care if you're black or white or yellow, purple, or green, or whatever the case may be. If you're a honest person and you do the best you can and you live your life the way you want to live it, the way that you feel is you and that you are happy with you, then why is it anybody else's business or anybody else's issue or anybody else's... why is anybody allowed to criticize that? If you're not hurting nobody, if you're an honest and honorable person and you contribute to your own friends and families and loved ones and community or not, or you're just a good individual, how is it anybody's issue what you do and how you think or what you look like or what nationality or race or ideology, if that's what you want to call it? How is it that these are the people everybody's supposed to be a model behind? But these are the worst people imaginable. These are the most despicable people imaginable. But that's who we are put up on a stage and capitalized profit corporate. They're groping everybody on every plane, but the borders are wide open. They're molesting all the children, but the borders are wide open. Right? They're stalking you into social networking. I'm being stalked all the time. If you subscribe to me, someone will subscribe to you. That's a stalker. You should report them immediately for doing that to you. But that's what we mean. We got stalkers stalking everybody. And because I'm out here all the time, they're stalking me. War and neglect leaves 500,000 Afghans homeless. There's actually 5 million orphans in Afghanistan. Then you went to Iraq and done the same thing. 5 million cheap to get 10,000 Taliban. You wrecked 2 countries, now Libya and now Syria, to get 10,000 bad guys. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with you? Why do you send your children to do that? Like, why don't you think things out for yourself? Why can't you look at it for what it is, the power structure that it is? It's because you've been indoctrinated, and you don't know how to say no. You don't understand. When I show you that, these are models from institutions all around the world of the radioactive fallout. No, Dana, you're a conspiracy theorist. But I show you endless pictures, endless models, endless documentation. What the freak could you possibly want? What do you need? Even if only one of these is correct, is that not something to be worried about? Is that not something to be... But what could drive someone to show you this kind of documentation is the fact that we leave them no wiggle room, no way to come out and trick you. That's the idea. No way to come out and deceive you. April 16 forecast showed radioactive cloud stretching from Texas to Canada because it never stopped coming out of there. Right? Because see the study below me, right? That study is on just normal pollution coming across the Pacific Ocean. Well, yeah, 40 million becquerels of iodine in a single bed of kelp off Southern California because it washes down to the coastline. And then kelp aggregates it. But Woods Hole and UVic are not checking kelp. They want you to check water. But that's not how you check for radiation. So why are they doing that? To deceive you. But you can check. Look at this. Rain with 20 million particles. Look at that. So you can check water. But it's not what you should be doing. You should be checking the coastal. Well, you should do that, but you should be checking the tidal pools, the nursery of the coastline of Canada. They don't want to do that. They can't do that. If they do that, if they talk about that, then it's gig over and game up for them, right? Hang on, I'll show you what I mean. I can show you something that's what we done. Like, here's the models from Canada, right? Fallout from Canada. Canada, several studies. Hang on, here's your model from Canada. Hang on, I'll show you what that means though. Sometime in this year, Dana, if you don't mind. Okay. Smithsonian in 2015, they checked 4 spots. National Geographic was reporting, and there was a die-off of urchins. So they declared a mass mortality event. 4 spots, and the 5th spot was enough to declare a mass mortality event of sea urchins. I done the whole coastline. I done it in the Zodiac. It was crowdfunded. Instead of the coastline looking like that everywhere you went, it was stripped. Instead of looking like a normal spot like this, it was stripped. It was stripped, the whole coastline. So we done this. This is all from the same. Like this picture is anywhere in BC. Anywhere in that map. Let me touch on that one more time for you. That map, that's 15,000 miles. That's 260 days of my life in the last 13, 14 months that we accomplished that. And so the footage I'm showing you, the pictures I'm showing you, is showing you where the most vulnerable life is right there, and that is all gone. Yeah? Instead of every square inch being jostling for life, it's naked. Instead of 5,600 species, it's naked. Instead of an amazing diversity, it's naked. Instead of just wonder, like, this is me on the beach, that's one of the little zodiacs. Instead of this everywhere, there's nothing everywhere. Instead of looking like that and being slippery and scary when you went ashore. It's naked. You can go ashore anywhere. It's naked. It's all gone. And that's from the warm waters of British Columbia, kept warm from the direct currents from Japan. Right, the ocean current comes straight over here. Hang on. Ocean currents come right over. This is a model of 6 years. This is only based upon a couple of days releases from a single reactor. That's all it's based upon. It's not based upon the whole story, all the melted reactors in Japan. And remember how the media come out and tricked you, right? Remember that? Look at the building alongside of each other. Now, that's their official pictures. Think about it. They're official pictures on both sides. But they told you the ones on the left, the top one, was what it looked like inside of it. Look at the pictures I put there alongside of it and below it, right? But look at the comparison. It looks like that on the inside. That's the media. That's the official pictures from TEPCO 2. And it actually looks like that, Unit 4. But all the media come out and showed you the picture on the left, on that case on the right, is when they showed you the World Nuclear News, all the experts. But here's what the building looks like alongside of it. I put there left of it. And so this time it's reversed. Look at the pictures I put there, but look at what the media told you it looked like on the inside. Think about what the media is telling you. Think about CBC told you. Show you a beautiful pool inside the destroyed building I put alongside of it. Think about what I'm showing you. Walk away from that and tell me these are not lawyers and they got something to hide. Because they used up all the bananas on the planet to cover up this atrocity, this extinction event against the Pacific Ocean. All the world's biggest media and nuclear come out and lied, come out and manipulated you, come out and deceived you. We went out and we showed you there's an extinction event playing out on the coastline. It doesn't look like that. It now looks like this. The 4 million other species didn't recede the coastline. Think about it. Think about what I'm saying to you. Think about why I do what I do, because we proved it. Not only can dust, which is thousands of times bigger than the atom, from the melted reactors that are constantly flowing out, come across in the jet stream, but it comes across in the ocean in 45 days. The ocean currents are real. And we have to come up with solutions. We have to get our academics busy. We have to treat this with the urgency like we did at Chernobyl. Look, that's the elephant foot. But this was a photographer. They buried his cameras with him. These people are making their own lead vest because they watched all their buddies dying. These people don't even know what they're doing. They were conscripted. And like the video I showed you earlier, they went and kidnapped people off the street because it's not like a banana. It's not like walking in sunshine. It's not like... Hi everybody, Jan, Shani Ken, Zigfree. Wasn't really expecting many people to show up. And I just... Better late than never get my stream out. It's not like I'm giving up or going away or slowing down. It might be late. And it's that time of the year where we got everything else is going on. Hopefully I'll get a stream in tomorrow. If not, I'll get one out late tomorrow night. And it'll be there for the next day if anybody wants to watch it. I'm not worried about the live stream. It's just so convenient for me to do the live stream. But it's also convenient to raise the awareness while live streaming. Okay, it's friggin' hard as shit to do a live stream. It's much easier just to pre-tape it all and post it. Trust me. To pull off anything is so difficult. But I don't care how much work it takes. And it takes a stupid amount of work. And then, frig it, just go ahead and do it. Because if I don't, then I'll drive myself crazy. How come Fukushima doesn't have anything that looks like that? Because they're shipping it all over to your countries to frig over your loved ones. And we got to start dealing with this. And like, to stop these reactors, we're going to have to sacrifice. This was iodine-129, 15.7 million year half-life, 31 times more of that for every single iodine-131. And so we have to get busy. We have to talk about this. We have to consider that what I'm talking about all the time hang on. You got to consider, if you're not familiar with the subject, that everything I'm showing you is so important. It's so important. These models are unbelievably important. They tell the story. You know, along when I show you the rest of the reactors. Right? They tell that story that there's more to it than bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine and getting on an airplane. And because all of these models are only based up on a couple of days' releases. It never stopped. See? So the models we're looking at are insignificant to what's really going on, but they're significant when you look at them in the context of what the implications are. So right from the get-go, they knew it was bad, and they worked hard to hide it and bury it under bananas, potato chips, walking in the sunshine, getting on an airplane, sleeping next to somebody, and natural emitters that are irrelevant. That's not what we're worried about the terrorists getting their hands on bananas. Are you worried about the terrorists getting your hands on bananas? I'm not worried about the terrorists getting their hands on the bananas. Yeah, I hear you, Mickey. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. Let me fix that a little bit. Uh-oh. I might never get this to work again. I see what I got done here. I got it screwed up now, haven't I? Forever and ever. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Shanikin. Candace. I was just saying goodnight. That's the end of the stream. Candace, go straight. Hi, folks. Nip Killer. Thank you for finding the time and saying hi, folks. Hi, Nash. Hi, Jan. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to try to figure it out. But Siegfried, everybody. And Corey's out there, we know. Hi, Corey. And so once again, radiation got nothing to do with banana. When you hear the word banana, it's time to duck and cover, okay? Duck and cover. Duck and cover. Duck and cover. So, hugs for everybody. I'm going to repost it up at Beautiful Girl by Dana on YouTube before I go to bed out of it. It's been a tough day. Going to be a tough day tomorrow. And hopefully get a stream in tomorrow night. And if not, I'll be out here Boxing Day morning or Christmas Eve morning. Might play guitar, have a bit of fun or something. And just to support everybody. It was a hard time for people. So I'm going to be here for everybody, I hope. And that's what the plan is. So hugs for everybody. Good night, everybody. Thank you to anybody that managed to find it. Thanks, Shanik and Elaine. Good night, everybody. Siegfried. Hugs for everybody. That's right, Siegfried. Mickey, Shanik and Jan, and everybody else, Nash, that I might have missed. Hugs for everybody. Take care, folks. We'll see everybody tomorrow night, hopefully, or the next morning anyway. Worst case scenario. Talk to everybody then.